morning. Today is Saturday, November 7th, and it's time for our weekly meeting, which is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites. Talk to yourself like a friend. I love this topic. I tell myself this all the time, so I don't need it every week to remind me, but I do need it every day to remind me to fix my hood. Anyway, let's see how I did this week. That was so cool. That was so cool. I weighed 209.9. I've got into the next set of digits, which is always my goal, to get into the next set of digits. And so I just squeaked in there, as you can see, 209.9, which was a 1.3 loss. So happy. And it's a total of 94.3 pounds. I just ecstatic. And I attribute that to the fact that I didn't have a lost weekend last weekend. I stayed on track and I paid attention to what I was eating, and I just know with my body it's going to go a little bit slower. The closer I get to Wonderland, it's going to go a little bit slower. So if I can just lose like right around a pound a week, I'll be doing good. I'm happy with it. So anyway, this is the week 3 weekly series of Talk to Yourself Like a Friend. And they do say it's a fan favorite. I would agree with them on this one. You have a setback and you beat yourself up over it. Your friend has a setback and you immediately build her back up and you tell her to keep on going. How many of us have done that? I know I have. I've like thought, oh, you had such a crappy weekend, Sandy. It's like, let's just give it up. You can't do any better than you've done. And then if it was a friend, I'd say, well, you know what? It was only 2 days. You still got 5 days that you can make it up. So don't pay attention to those 2 days. I mean, learn from the 2 days. Learn what mistakes you made on those 2 days. Try to think about what triggered you to go off on those last 2 days, and then move on from there. I need to tell myself that more often. Why the change? Why would we be different to a friend than we are to ourselves? Because I find that we are all so critical of ourselves. We always think, I could have done that. I could have done that better. I should have done that. I might have done this. I should have done that. We just have to realize that, we're human. We make mistakes. But we have to accept the mistakes that we make, especially if we're willing to accept them in other people. Now, there are things that people do that we just can't accept. I understand that completely. But I think that for the most part, you just kind of don't accept things from friends that you shouldn't accept. Wait a minute, how am I going to put this? I want to get this right because I know the thought I want to get. I know the thought process I want to get out. Because there are traits in people that you just can't accept. But then you have to look at yourself and see if you are, I'm giving up on it. Giving up. It all came back in because I don't know the point I was trying to make. I have a point to make there. I just don't know how to express it. But I do have a point. But we're going to move on. Studies show that showing ourselves a little compassion, just like we would to a friend, actually helps us respond to obstacles in a way that helps us reach our goals. A lot of times you just got to think of yourself as a work in progress. We all need to take a step back sometimes, look at our good qualities, but especially look at our bad qualities. Because everybody, no matter how perfect they are, but I think I'd put Mother Teresa in a separate category because I think she was like beyond. But I'm sure if you were to talk to Mother Teresa, she would tell you, I mean, she's dead, I know. But if you were to talk to Mother Teresa, she would say, you know what, this was my fault or that was my fault. And I think that we would probably look at it and think, I don't know, that doesn't seem like a fault. But I think if you can step back in all aspects of your life, not just in your diet, maybe not just in your friendships, maybe not just in your money handling, but if you took a step back and looked at the whole picture and looked at all your faults and maybe wrote them down. Because sometimes I think if you write things down and you look at it, it makes a difference than just thinking it. So if you write down all of your bad qualities, and hopefully the page is not long, but you write down look at them and think, I could work on that. I could work on that. I could work on that. I could improve on that. And you would see that you're not really as bad as you think you are. Then on another piece of paper, list all your greater qualities. And I think that your greater qualities are always going to outweigh your other quality, your bad faults. So I always think if you look at the 2 pieces of paper, and then when you're done, burn them, rip them up, shred them, whatever you need to do. But just get it out of your system by writing it, reading it, absorbing it, and then talking to yourself like you would to a friend. You know, like, I like so-and-so, but you know what? She talks too much. But you know, I can overlook that because even though she talks too much, she's always friendly. She always has time for me. She never takes, ever says that she doesn't have time to talk. So, I mean, it can balance out. Do the same thing with yourself. You know what? I make really poor food choices. But then on the good side, you might look at, but on the days I make good food choices, I feel so much better. Then you can kind of weigh it that way and kind of figure out, I'm going to talk to myself better. I'm going to look at my good qualities and my faults and see if some of my good qualities can improve on my faults. And are these faults things that I can accept in a friend, but I don't accept in myself? And then you'd really see that, like I said, like I talk a lot. I know I talk a lot. And I know to some point that's a fault. It really is, because sometimes you got to take a step back and let someone else get a word in edgewise type of thing. But, look at it from that perspective. Once again, I don't think I'm making much sense today. I'm trying my best. I really am. Because at the end of the day, we're all human and life happens. By treating ourselves with kindness and patience instead of judgment and criticism, we're able to create real change and try new things. That is so true. I mean, it starts off really early in life. You have to have patience when they're learning how to do something. You want to do it for them. You just do. But you've learned patience along the way. And it's going to take them a minute to learn how to use that fork. It's going to take them a minute or two to learn how to use the toilet. It's going to take them a minute or two to learn how to walk. But you have patience and compassion, thinking, well, as they fall down, you think, oh, that had to hurt. I'm so sorry. Or as they're trying to pick up their food and they're getting so frustrated. But you have the patience to stick with them because you're helping them. And so you need to do the same thing for yourself. You need to have patience with yourself so that you can be helping yourself at the same time. You're going to progress at a slower pace sometimes than you really want to. But if you have the patience and the compassion for yourself that you would show for any other human being on earth, you're going to achieve more success. So the next time you're struggling, think of how you treat a friend in the same situation. Number 1, step 1, your close friend feels down because she ate more. We mean a lot more than she had planned. What would you say and what tone would you use? You wouldn't say, oh my gosh, you ate all of that? You would say, you did eat a lot, but you know what? You didn't really need it, but don't you feel better now that you realize that you ate too much? Why are you going to beat yourself up? It's there. You've done it. Just learn from it and move on. It's not going to change anything. You don't want to make them anorexic, bulimic, B-U-L-M-I-C. Bulimic. There's some words I just can't pronounce. I know what they are, and I just can't get them out of my mouth. Like hinges. I have to say it slow. Bulimania. You don't want them to have bulimania. So you, like you just say, okay, you ate it. It was a little bit too much. I've done it myself. I really have done it myself. But you know what? I just learned, I don't like the feeling that I had. So how about you? Let's just move on. Let's talk about something else. That's what I would do. The example they give is you're being crazy hard on yourself. Slip-ups are totally normal, and you can get back on track tomorrow. Well, I wouldn't even say get back on track tomorrow. I would just say, you know what? You kind of screwed up that meal. I agree. But make it up on the next meal. Make it up on the next meal. If it's the last meal of the day, just say, well, I guess you won't need to have a snack tonight. Try to do something a little bit better to make them feel better. Number 2, you feel down because you ate more, a lot more than you planned. What would you say to yourself? And what tone would you use? I have done this. Why did you do that on Saturday? Why did you eat so much on Sunday? Why did you go crazy? Why did you do all of that stuff? That's just like, you're just fat. You're never going to reach your goals. You're never going to hit your 100 pounds. You're never going to get to Wonderland. Would I say that to a friend? No, I wouldn't. I would not say that to a friend. I'm going to be honest with you, I might think that. I might think, you keep eating like that on the weekends, you're never going to hit your 100 pounds. You're never going to reach your goal. But would I say it out loud? No. Because if I say it out loud, someone's going to hear it. But if I say it to myself, I still hear it. So I have to think better thoughts and not be so hard on myself. And the example they use is, Why can't I ever commit to anything? I'm never going to lose weight. Why even try? I've failed again and again. You don't want to do that. You just don't. Look at your journey as you've been going. If you're just starting out, I mean, you're probably having really good success because everybody, just about everybody, does really well the first couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks on a diet, health plan, whatever you want to call it. You always do really well because you're all gung-ho, you know, this is it. And then you hit that little plateau. That first plateau is always the make or break moment. Because when you hit that first plateau, you think, I don't know, it's just like I was doing so well. I was just doing so well, and now all of a sudden I'm not losing. Is this really worth it? I could eat what I want and stay the same. No, you can't. You just gained all your weight. But you wouldn't say that out in the sequence because we're supposed to be talking to ourselves. I'm just telling you how I think that, but if you're just talking to yourself saying that, you know, you need to remind yourself that would you say that to a friend? You wouldn't say to a friend, oh my gosh, of course, you know, that's why that happened. No, you would say, you know what, everybody hits a plateau. Everybody reaches a point. You just got to hang in there for maybe a week or two, and then it'll start coming off again. Talk to somebody, talk to yourself like you would talk to someone else. And number 3, step 3, is there a difference between the two? Why? What would change if you talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend? How would that sound? You know, Sandy, I know the weekends are difficult for you. I really realize. And let's think about it. Why are the weekends so difficult for you? It's because you go crazy on the weekends and you have to make it up Monday through Friday. But you know what? You don't have to do that. Let's stick together. Let's do it right this weekend. That's how I would talk to a friend. That's how I'm going to talk to myself. And that's what I'm going to do this weekend. The example they give you is, it's okay, things happen and no one is perfect. I'll meal prep tomorrow and find recipes that use 0-point foods. My thinking is, when I go crazy on the weekends, is like, you know, you can do really well during Monday to Friday. You did really well. I'm going to do better. I'm going to talk to myself in a better frame of mind and just know, you know what, just because you had the one weekend that kind of threw you off track, but you know what, you know why you did it. You know how you can do what you can do to fix it. Let's get on this train and do it right. So I shared this picture, which I'm going to show you at the end. Was it like a relish tray of a train? It was kind of cute. I really liked it. So I'm going to share it again. I'm sure people have seen it all because it's been all over the internet, but it's a cute little idea and it makes eating your fruits and vegetables a little bit more fun, which had nothing to do with this topic, but I like that thing. It was kind of cute. The recipe is for baked eggs with delicata squash, spinach, and feta. Well, I have to tell you that in my area of Michigan, where I live, I can never find delicata squash. I'm sure if I went to the nearest fruit and vegetable market, which is probably about 25 to 30 minutes away from my house, I might find it. Kroger never has it. Kroger has acorn and butternut squash. That's it. Those are the 2 choices that you get there. So, but with that being said, I don't like baked eggs. So I would not be trying this recipe. And to me, baked eggs with delicata squash just doesn't sound appetizing to me. I like eggs, but not baked eggs. I like squash, but I've never had delicata squash. I love spinach and I love feta. But a recipe that I will not be trying. Okay, I know I went all over the way. All over. I just love this topic though, talking to yourself like a friend. It's just, I need to do it more. I need to do it more for myself, and I need to remind myself that I am my best friend, because you know what, wherever I go, there I am. I'm with me 24/7. I can't get away from me. I can like leave the room, but guess what? I'm following right behind. So I'm right there with me. So anyway, sorry about the gibberish today. I was just kind of like, I'm in a mood. Not a good mood, but just kind of like a funky, weird mood. But if you're new to my channel, please leave a comment, hit that like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it, and as always, stay safe, and I will see you on my daily vlog, or I'll see you next Saturday.